Okay, so today is May 7th or 8th actually, and it is 2020, and this is the Mystical Card Cosmology Advanced Level 1. And the students in this class have had the introductory card class, so they have had some experience. And so if anyone is watching this and you're feeling a little lost, there's always that introductory class to go back and refresh. But you can also feel free, you girls, we have Susan, Heidi, and Katie, you can feel free to interrupt me if there's something that, is confusing you. Okay, so let us go to the first slide. Let's do the Sanskrit invocation for light and learning. And so this prayer is ideally toned to begin sacred teachings, meetings, other group activities. The vibrational energy of this chant purifies the auras of those who are chanting it, and the material being reviewed or studied, and in the room in which it's being chanted. And these are from the Upanishads. Okay, here is the prayer in Sanskrit. So these Sanskrit sounds have power. This is the language of nature. So let's together say these words, and I'll do a call response. So I'll start and you can do a reply, and we'll go down each row like that. Om Sahana Vavatu. Everyone, Om Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bunaktu. Sahanau Bunaktu. Saha Viryam Karavavahai. Saha Viryam Karavavahai. Tejasvina Vaditamastu. Tejasvina Vaditamastu. Ma Vidvashavahai. Ma Vidvashavahai. Everyone together, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So let's do the translation together. I think that's probably why I wanted to unmute you, so I could hear all your lovely voices. Oops. Yeah, Heidi and Susan. So we can say it together, and Susan. Okay, good. The translation, may we be protected. Oh, may we be honorable. May we pursue our studies with vigor. And may they eliminate us. May there only be wisdom, learning, laughter, compassion among us today. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace.
Okay, so I will go ahead and mute you again. Mute. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next slide. Here are some learning objectives. Now I'm just building this PowerPoint and moving things around a little, so it's still in the makings. So some of this may change when I send out the course at the end. So today, what I'd like to do for 2 hours is 1 hour of concepts and theory around these learning objectives. And then the second hour, I'd like to just open it up to questions, Q&A, and doing some readings. So I can open your charts if you want, and just give you some peace of mind and some clarity. And as I'm reading, it will be learning through watching and witnessing, and sort of vicariously as I give a reading, you can see how I'm doing it and how I'm coming up with my answers. I will actually show you how I'm connecting the dots and how I'm getting the cognitions. So that's the last hour of the class. So feel free to start thinking about your questions and what you might want to ask. And if you don't have a question, that's okay too. I can do the United States chart, and we can read what's going on in these current times with this whole pandemic thing. We can look at all the players, we can look at Trump, we can look at Dr. Fauci and China, and I can identify all of their frequencies in the USA chart and give you what I see. So we could do that, or we could do personal readings, or maybe we get a little bit of both. So let's see what happens on the second hour of this class. First hour, really important that we get some nuts and bolts ironed out and learn some theories and concepts about specifically the first topic, decadent ruling cards. So decadent ruling cards, I've been exploring for the last year. So it's still a little new to me, but not entirely. And I found them to be extremely accurate, just the way Robert Lee Camp has expressed. He too finds them extremely accurate. So we're going to talk a little bit about how they play out regarding the natal card, the ruling card, and then how do you fit a decadent ruling card in? How do you read it? What does it mean? And how much weight does it hold when you're looking at all three? So we're going to review all that because it's very fascinating to add all three together, and I'm going to give you some case studies on some really interesting decadent ruling cards. Okay, and then we'll do some exploring of the karma cards, and if we have time, which I don't think we're going to today because we're going to do that hour of the reading at the end, is the sun transit method, which is a powerful method in reading these cards that isn't taught in too many places. Okay, moving into decadent. So before I begin, I would like to know how many people know their decadent ruler. Katie, whoops, you're muted. Let me unmute you. Unmute. Do you know your decadent ruler?
If I'm a Jack of Hearts, King of Hearts, November 22nd, I want to say I had it written down somewhere, but I'm forgetting now.
I think you're a two of diamonds. You're I call them a double decadent, just because it's the double D.
But if I'm a King of Hearts, planetary ruling, because I'm Sagittarius on the cusp.
Oh, that's true. We'd have to open. You're a cusper. Since you're a cusper, we'd have to open the chart probably. We'll look at it. We'll look at it.
And we did. It was Sagittarius, I think. I think you and I did it, and then Robert Lee Camp did it for me, and I was Sagittarius. So would that make me King of Hearts, decadent ruling, like a?
I'd have to look at it. So
yeah,
my friend is born on your same
it.
day. She's the same card as you, and she's more the Scorpio.
Yeah.
So within that same time frame, and her decadent is the two of diamonds, just the way your ruling is. So I, because she's so close to me, I can't remember, it gets muddled. So I'll need to look at the math and to actually, you're one of those people that probably shouldn't look at the chart like a regular graph or a table. You need to open the astrology, and it might be fun to do that anyways for everyone to see, and insightful for how I actually do it, even though we're going to go over it today right now. But I think it's important we do yours. You said Robert Camp did yours?
Yeah, and said I was Sagittarius.
Did he name the King of Hearts?
Oh, here. Yeah, King of Hearts. That's my decadent ruling.
Okay.
I have it written down here.
Oh, good. Then we don't need to open it because Camp knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so I was, birth card, Jack of Hearts, planetary, King of Hearts, decadent, King of Hearts, and then I have my karma cards.
So you're a double King of Hearts.
Yes.
Okay. So Jack and double King. Wow. That's powerful. Powerhouse.
And I have this chart. I mean, this is all you really need, right? To figure out someone's decadent rulers.
Yes. Yes. But it's a little bit tricky when you get the cusps. That's why having the software helps to have the software when you meet someone like you who's a cusper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm showing how to do that for cuspers so that you're not stuck for what to do. Okay, so would someone be kind enough to read this for me, because I don't want to hear my voice the whole time. Hey Susan, would you read this? Can you read it? Oh, wait a minute.
The screen that's up?
Yeah, would you mind reading that screen?
Sure.
Thanks.
The root of decadent is decan. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, decan, which is the subdivision, let me pull this over here, hold on, of an astrological sign. In order to give fuller interpretation to the zodiac signs, ancient astrologers subdivided each sign into periods of approximately 10 days. These divisions are known as decans or decades. Arbitrary were to follow for the 5 and sometimes 6 extra days.
Okay, well, we were breaking up a little toward the end, but we have the words right here. But it's just nice to hear your voice and have someone else read it.
Thank you.
And so I didn't ask your decadent, Susie. What is your decadent?
I'm not sure, Karen, actually. I'm a little confused on it. I'm looking at a chart I have from an astrology chart. And it's saying, you know, I'm Virgo, September 10th, and it's saying degrees of 23.
We need to look at your sun sign. So we'll figure it out together
Suns-
tonight.
Okay.
Tonight will be our night to figure your decadent out.
Okay.
And
So
Heidi, did you figure
I-
yours out? Hold on. I'm sorry, Susie. Just give me
It's
a minute
okay.
to ask Heidi. I'm looking to unmute Heidi. I saw her mouth going, but the mute. Okay. So,
Yeah, no, I have no idea, Karen, my decadent ruling card.
okay, we'll find it today.
Okay,
I have a feeling I think it's 5 of clubs. I think that January 1st is a double 5, but we'll look at, I'm not sure for sure, but we'll look.
okay.
Okay, here are the 3 decadents. So first decadent, second decadent, and third decadent. Basically, these are divisions. These are subdivisions within an astrological house. So we have 12 houses in a chart, right? And every house has 30 degrees. And when you break them all into 3, you get 10 degrees in each. So each of those little subdivisions in each of the 12 houses are little tiny decadents in Western astrology. In Vedic astrology, they're called padas, and it's a little bit more complicated, but similar. So subdivisions of a house. So let's look, and this is ancient Western astrology that does decadent. It's like it was even medieval, back in the medieval days. So we'll go on a little further. I was having fun researching how ancient this whole system of decadation is. So here are the charts, and this is January 1st. So January 1st is Venus. The decadent ruling planet is Venus. So what do you do from here? Well, we go to your life spread, not the spirit spread, but the life spread, your own life spread, and find what planet is your Venus. So if you have your chart open, you can see, Heidi, I don't know if you have yours open. Can you see what is the Venus to the King of Spade? I can try to look at it here. Hold on. You can see the second, 2 away is the Venus card to the King. So hold on, 1, 2. Looks like Ace of Clubs. Really? Huh. So you might have an Ace of Clubs decadent ruler, Heidi, but I just need to double check that in your chart. Okay, and Susie, when's your birthday? Oh, I'm going to keep you guys unmuted because it's such a small class. We can just all talk.
September 10th.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide. September 10th. It's right in here. So Saturn is your decadent, and we'd have to look at, well, we count 5 away from your birth sign, and I'm doing it the hard old-fashioned way, but hold on a minute. Susie, you're an Ace of Diamonds, so hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 of Hearts. Okay, so how I do that, I should probably tell people how to do that, but this is the old-fashioned way, and you don't have to do this because we all have computers, but this is the life spread. And we know that, well, you should know that Venus is always 2. First it goes Venus, first it goes Mercury, then it goes Venus, and then it goes Mars, and on like that with the planets. And then with Saturn, it's the fifth planet away from your sun. So Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. So that's the order, and then Pluto at the end. So that is the order of the planets. So you can count like that when you get this chart. So I'll look for, oh, Susie's Ace of Diamonds, and she is, where is your ace anyways? There it is. So there's the Ace of Diamonds. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 of Hearts. So I'm showing you how to do it. So we just, if you find your, I can't do it backwards, but if you find the Ace of Diamonds and count, not inclusive of the Ace of Diamonds, count 5 away because Saturn is the 5th one, then that's her decadent.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you counting backwards or forwards?
I'm counting in this direction from right to left. So
okay. Thank you.
sorry, right to left. Yeah, the way Hebrews count, it's they read the opposite direction that we do in English. Sometimes I'm dyslexic. I'm like left to right, right to left. Yeah, so it's the opposite of how we read.
Okay.
So did you see that 9 of hearts, or did I lose you all in that?
I'm trusting you.
Just like so let me see if I can show it to you so you get it. So here's the Ace of Diamonds. It's hard to do with my pen. Well, hold on. There's this little teeny weeny Ace of Diamonds with my
Okay.
pen pointing. And now we're going to count. Hold on. Count. We have to drop down. We have to go over here. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm off because I can't see with the pen. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should land on the 9 of hearts. Do you see that?
We're all
Hope you
good.
see that. Okay. Well, you get the gist at least, right?
I do.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. So what they say about the Decadent card, which I think is fascinating, is that it rules our career. Okay, now I'll give you a great example of how this has rung true for me. So when in 1999, I started Sacred Stone. It's a school, Sacred Stone School. And Sacred Stone Therapy basically started off with Sacred Stone Therapy, and then it became Sacred Stone School after I realized people wanted to learn what I was doing. So I started teaching it. But when you put the word Sacred Stone and the letter values into the software program that I think I put it on the Facebook app, on the Facebook page. And if not, I'll send it to you all again, but it's there. You click on that link and you can enter the letters in, and it comes to 6 of clubs. So Sacred Stone is 6 of clubs, and that's my Decadent ruling, right? So how 52 possibilities. It's pretty amazing, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you can look at the name of your business, or the name or the career choice. You know, we can look for letter values that would describe your career and see if we can find that it matches your Decadent, which would be really interesting. You're going to get a lot of people that come to you, clients that want to know what is the best career path for them. This is where you pull their Decadent and understand the Decadent card. Like if they are like 3 of clubs Decadent ruler, you would tell them, well, writing and anything artistic, anything creative, anything around communications and mercurial, because 3 is a number of Mercury, and Mercury governs communications. So you could guide them in that direction with their career easily just by looking at the Decadent. Any questions about that? Okay, so hey Susie, no, let's get Katie. Would you read this to me?
Sure. Decadent ruling cards can indicate your career path as well as color your personality. When weighing out your natal card, planetary ruling card, and your Decadent card, you will ask yourself which one holds the most weight. I have noticed the natal card will hold the most weight if the planetary ruling and Decadent cards are both different. If the planetary ruling card and Decadent card are identical, then that duplicate card will hold as much weight as your natal card.
Beautifully said, beautifully read. Thank you. And I think that pretty much sums up what to do with a Decadent when you're doing a reading. How much value do you put on it, and what do you do with it? Well, it does actually really matter that if you have a double Decadent, you really, like my double 6 of clubs and Katie's double King of Hearts is going to weigh as much as her natal card, if not more. Because as we age, we step into, well, I'm seeing it through Ayurvedic lens, through our pitta time of years, the time where we're most productive, where we're doing our dharma, where we're creating, where we're serving the world. And the Decadent's all about that, all about career. So it is a really important card for those in their middle stages of life, for everybody. But if people are looking for their career choice, or how can I serve the world, that's a great way to look at it. Now look at this Sagittarius Decan, or however you say it. I think it's Decan, shaman. And my first Decan is that I am a Sagittarius first Decan. So, and I am a shaman. So I just finished the shaman training course. Actually, I'm in the middle of it, so I feel like I'm never going to be out of it. I'll be a student
That's
the rest of
mine
my life.
too, right?
What'd you say?
Sagittarius Decan 1 is me too, right?
I think so. You may very well be, I'd have to look at the chart again for
A
you.
private investigator.
Private investigator and a shaman.
That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Do you see yourself doing that?
Why not?
Why not? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so here's the Aries decan. Gives a little bit of a breakdown of the 3 decans here of Aries. And this is Western astrology. So here is more information about the decadent ruling card. So Heidi, do you feel like reading this one?
Sure. Okay.
Hold
Thanks.
on.
Okay, decadent ruling cards. Using astrology software to develop an astrology chart with 12 houses based on the tropical zodiac, we can determine a decadent ruling card. Each sign of the zodiac is broken into 3 equal pieces called decadents in tropical astrology and padas in sidereal astrology. Firstly, it's imperative to know and understand the rulerships of each sign constellation. Each sign governs a period of approximately 30 days. There are 30 degrees in each sign constellation. If we break it down even further into the microcosm of the macrocosm, each decadent governs a 10-day period of that sign's rulership. For example, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces. With that understanding at the macro level of a 12-house chart, we can apply the same principle to the micro level, which we refer to as the 3 decadent sections of each house sign. Each of the 3 decadents have their own planetary rulerships, such as each sign constellation is ruled by a planet. Sometimes we call these rulers landlords or simply lords.
Beautifully read. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it just makes me miss you so much, hearing your voice. Oh, I want you all to know each other. You ladies would love each other. And I mean, the two, like Katie and Heidi are both kings, and kings, when they meet each other, they just can't stop talking. And Susie is, well, I'm going to teach you guys this eventually, but my boon card, and boon meaning the card that is the gift to me. And I'll teach you how to get that formula as well, so you can know when you meet your boon card who's a gift and who's not a gift. Susie's a gift to me, and I met her in California, I don't know, 20 years ago. She was in a class in Chicago or something. I was teaching Marma therapy, Marma points at the LifeWave convention. Remember? Susie? Oh, your screen just froze, but I hear your voice. Yeah.
Well, it was in Las Vegas, and it was
Las
on my
Vegas.
birthday, actually. But I had met you. I met you in person then, but I had ordered sacred stones from you before that.
That's right. You signed up for Sacred Stone Therapy.
Yeah, so that was
Okay.
2002.
That's a long time ago, 2002. I was right in the middle of teaching Sacred Stone Therapy. It was like consuming so many students, and it was my whole world. And Susie's a massage therapist. She's also a Sacred Stone teacher. She elevated all the way up to the teaching level, and she is something else too, Ayurveda. So she graduated from the Ayurveda Health Counselor Program. And
First
so
class.
did Heidi. What'd you say?
The first class.
My
Your
first class, my
yeah.
inaugural class. Yes, not surprising. And yeah, Heidi did too. So yeah, you two have a lot in common as well. So wouldn't it be fun? I was just sort of fantasizing we all like run off to the Bahamas, the Sivananda Yoga Ashram.
When?
I know. Let's do it. Oh, I just am craving this. The water was so crystal clear blue. It was the most beautiful water. It was right on the campus of the ashram. You were doing yoga on the water, literally 10 steps from the ocean. So as you're doing sun salutations, you're just looking at the ocean and eating delicious gourmet vegan food, and they sing over their food, and you can hear them singing and clapping. And the accommodations are, comfortable, not 5-star or anything, but It's just lovely. It's just nice people, and every night there was a meditation and a workshop of some really cool person. Like the last person was a shaman who came in from the Andes, and he gave this incredible presentation. So it's all these like-minded kindred spirits that just gather there, and I do 2 yoga classes a day, eat their food, get amazing Shirodara Abhyanga treatments. It was the best Shirodara I ever had. And just swimming every single day, walking over to what's that other one that's everyone knows?
Oh, Atlantis?
Yes.
Yeah, I just
next
stayed
door.
there. The kids and I just went
You just
in
went.
February.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just missed you. I was there in January.
Oh, you were.
Yes. Yeah. So that's, sometimes I crave Starbucks because I don't give you any caffeine at the ashram.
Oh, God.
So just a 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk down the beach to the Starbucks inside the Atlantis.
I know it well. I know it well.
Yes, yeah. So I'm fantasizing about having like a little card party class retreat where we can do yoga together, and then have some hours set aside where we just read and learn and immerse ourselves in this beautiful sacred language. So hold that thought with me. It'll happen. Maybe next year.
What is the name, honey, of the place?
It's the Sivananda Yoga Ashram, and the bookstore is amazing, and delicious food, and
Wonderful.
yeah, I can't say enough about. I just really liked the whole place, the whole gig. Okay, so here we go. Moving on to the next slide. How to determine your decadent ruling card. Okay, we're gonna just do some examples and case studies, but let's just read some of this first. Yeah, so here you go. Katie, the first decadent right here. Very funny, optimistic, lighthearted, blunt. That is so me. I don't know if I'm funny, but I'm blunt.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty blunt.
Yes, you are blunt. And I like that about you. We get along great. We're straight shooters, and so blunt, right? And we do have large heart. I mean, you're the king of hearts, double king of hearts, and yeah. I see your optimism, and I bet you get really funny. I can see you have a funny side, a fun.
I try.
Silly, fun side. Yeah. So I'd like to see how all this rings true for you when we are absolutely sure of each of your decadents. Okay, so let's have, Katie, would you read this one? How to determine your decadent ruling card?
Find what house your sun is occupying in your natal astrology 12-house tropical zodiac chart. Then observe the degrees of your sun, which should be in plain sight beside it. Using the decadent degree range chart, find which of the 3 decadents the degree of your sun fits in. If your sun sits within 0 to 9.59 degrees, your decadent card will be identical to your ruling card. Oh, that's okay. That makes sense. Giving more weight and credibility to the expression of your ruling card. Okay, so the first is always the same as your planet.
Always. The first
decadent
matches
is
the
always
ruling.
the same. Okay.
Yeah, that makes it so much easier. And really 9.59, it's really just 10, but he just to be really specific, it's 9.59. So it breaks it up into 30, divided by 3 is 10. Okay, so let's look what the next slide brings us. Decadent constellation rulerships. Okay, so here are the rulerships. And how can I explain this? Basically, it's self-explanatory, so I don't want to bore you with the details. And I'll send you the slideshow if you remind me. And you can, really analyze this chart and get comfortable with it. So the first decadent of Sagittarius is Sagittarius. First decadent of Scorpio is Scorpio. So it's the same. That's how we get a double decadent. I call it that, just even though it's really not a double decadent. It's double ruling and decadent. But here is where we get the differences here. And as a reader, I really like it when somebody is born in the second or third decadent and I get another card to read from, because sometimes you run into a conundrum and you just, they're asking you a really specific question and you just struggle for the answer that's just not as apparent as you'd like it to be. But then you pull the decadent card, you look into that layer, and bam, the answer is right there. So yes, I really prefer to read people who have a separate decadent card because it just makes my life easier as a reader. Okay, so let's move on. Here is, for example, my chart. So Taurus ascendant here, but you look at the sun. See how I circled it? When you're pulling a chart and you're pulling a natal tropical astrology chart, or any chart, but we're doing tropical here, we look right at the sun, because this is, tropical is based on the sun sign, where sidereal is based on more of the ascendant. But we look at the sun and we see, oh, 7.23. Okay, so she must fall into the first decadent. So she must have a same ruling, whatever her ruling card is going to be her decadent card as well. So she's a double decadent, and that I am. Double six of clubs. Okay, so did I just say all that here? Did I say anything else here? I think I did just sort of sum up this here. Yeah, okay, so I broke the house into 3 just so you'd get a visual of what a decadent is. Any questions on this? It's pretty simple. Am I losing anybody here?
No.
No? Okay, good. Okay, so I wanted to give you something that was kind of relevant to the times that we're in. I'm not much of a politician or into politics, but it's a quite fascinating time right now in the world. So I'm listening to things that I don't usually listen to because it's just become so crazy out there. So I'm feeling like the last 3 or 4 months I was smelling a rat, and I think we all were kind of smelling, detecting, sensing something was up, and I was trying to figure out who was the rat. And so I think I found him. So I'm going to prove my case. So I'm using a decadent case study here using Dr. Anthony Fauci. And I could be wrong, so, forgive me, God, if I am. But I'm pretty sure after studying his chart that he is, I hate to say this, but he's not an honest person. Okay, so look at his sun. We fall into the first decadent, right? Yeah, I mean, I could just go into the astrology here and just go, whoa, this astrology chart is scary as hell with Rahu and Ketu. And here is the doctor of the 8th house, secrets, scandals, because doctor is Jupiter and Saturn, both when they're conjunct, it brings in a doctor. And then he has Neptune, the planet of deceit, deception, smoke and mirrors, sitting in the 12th house of anything overseas and foreign, which is China. So this is fascinating, right? So now we're going to look at this is his chart. So I went to his 7-year spread, and he's a double decadent. So he has a ruling card 9 of spades and a decadent 9 of spades. So he's right smack dab in the middle of a 7-year cycle. And I wanted to show you the Saturn cycle right here is with the Jack of Spades, King of Diamonds. So what this says right here, for 7 years, this man on this birthday is focused on being an incompetent physician and making a lot of money. King of Diamonds is the richest man in the deck. He's a one-eyed king, and the Jack is a one-eyed Jack. There's only 3 one-eyeders. So we have the Jack of Hearts, Jack of Spades, and King of Diamonds that are the one-eyed cards. They're speaking to you like this because they're not going to be able to face you straight up because they're not honest. So they're speaking out of one side, but dishonest this way.
Which were the 3? Jack of Hearts,
Jack of Hearts,
Jack
King
of Spades,
Diamonds, and Jack of Spades. Yeah. So just because you're a Jack of Hearts doesn't mean you're dishonest, Katie. It just means the propensity is there if you choose to not wake up and not be your highest version of yourself. Then that can play out. And I don't usually see a lot of women Jack of Hearts that are deceived. My best friend, same birthday as you, Katie, she's so awake and so enlightened and so lovely. And I think, Heidi, you know her, you bought a bag from her. Yeah, you bought
Yes, the one
Yeah.
bag, and I just absolutely love it.
that
It's my
bag. She
favorite
makes
bag.
beautiful artistic bags, purses, and she's a yoga teacher, and she's not the classic one-eyed Jack. So, and neither are you, Katie. So this 7-year thing, this Fauci, you see, I'm pulling right from Camp's software. What he says when the Jack of Spade goes to a Saturn cycle. Heidi, would you read what that says? Can you?
Yeah.
So this card can represent difficulties through association with an incompetent physician. It would be wise not to put your trust in doctors during this period or for the year to a lesser extent. There is also the possibility of being ripped off in some way, so it is advisable to watch over your personal possessions and beware of those who may be dishonest or disreputable. The other card during this period will give further details about this Jack of Spades influence. Be on the lookout for men of the spades suit, especially those who are younger or who may be approaching you from either a romantic or creative point of view. These are likely to prove burdensome in some way during this period. Oh, wow.
Yes, thank you for reading that so eloquently. Well, so this is the beauty of learning this system. It's unity consciousness, where if I was sitting here in front of a guy reading this chart, I would tell him, well, you better watch out. If you're going for a doctor's appointment and you get an opinion, you might need a second opinion, because this year you could attract an incompetent physician. But this beautiful system is so unified and so evolved. It also means that he himself can be his own incompetent physician, because everything is one, everything is united. So this is Fauci's chart. He is the incompetent physician. At the same time and in the same breath, he himself can attract an incompetent physician himself. So if he goes for his own appointment, he would be likely to run into someone as evil as him. Okay, so when I say, I hate to use that word evil, I very, very rarely use that word, because I don't even really believe so much that it is evil, but it's, let's call it the darker side, because the dark and the light are the same, and we need the dark to illuminate the light and the light to illuminate the dark, and they play together. And so without the dark, we can't hit the dark night of the soul, and without the dark night of the soul, we can't all transform, and we can't reach what we call the Sat Yug, which is Sat meaning truth and Yug meaning era. So the Sat Yug is the age of enlightenment that we're hopefully moving towards. But we first have to hit the dark night of the soul. And I believe that the evil is playing its role. It's doing its part in divine order, which is not fun, but it is what it is. And he's stepped up. Fauci has been elected as someone who's in the forefront of moving the darker forces. And you can see what he's got in Pluto is the 10 of diamonds, which is the card of the blessing. When it goes to Pluto, it goes upside down. Basically, it gets blown out. So the 10 of diamonds in Pluto means the opposite of a blessing. It means darker forces, even darker. Does that make sense? So for 7 years, he's got his intention on not bringing in the light. He's looking to do the opposite of blessing people. So first violation of Hippocrates' oath, do no harm. Well, hello. So now we look at Mars cycle for 7 years, and in his Mars cycle for 7 years, he has the Ace of Diamonds, which is the beginning of a new endeavor, a new project or collaborative or whatever it is, something that's a new stream of money for him. And it's in Mars, so it's malefic. So it's going to be sort of more of a malefic income stream for him. And this started on December 24th, 2019, which basically was one day before the eclipse, which was a really nasty eclipse. And remind me, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to read the eclipse weeks when we go into maybe later on maybe the 4th class, because we'll be right approaching the the June 5th eclipse. And I want you all to look at your eclipse week, because it does give you 6 months projection. So it goes from eclipse to eclipse, the 6-month projection. You can see the whole next 6 months through the eclipse week. So right on the eclipse week, he's got a new job, a new income stream, a new endeavor. And it's under so it's renting the eight of hearts, which is card of drama and death, believe it or not. It's a death card, the 8 of hearts. And guess who the 3 of hearts is? Anyone?
Him.
China.
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 United States. Oh, it's China.
It's China. So, China is, I have the birth chart of China. It's 8 of diamonds, natal, and 3 of hearts, ruling. And he's starting this whole, the whole pandemic started around that eclipse. And he obviously is in the forefront, because there he is, with China. And see this card of the secret, Ace of Spade, that the 3 of hearts is renting? This is a big conspiracy, secret, Ace of Spade. So that kind of sums up the 7 years for him. Now, if we go to the next cycle, which is this current year he's in, the 2020, when the 9 of hearts goes to Jupiter, it is your wish fulfillment. So Fauci has had a wish fulfillment, and he's been working on this strategy for however long. I don't know how long with the Wuhan thing, but he actually actualized his dream, and it is exactly what he wanted. It unfolded. So this is a rare alignment. We don't often get the 9 of hearts in Jupiter. If we did, everybody would be getting good luck all day long, all month long, all year long. So it doesn't happen very often in a chart, but he's got this for 7 years, a wish fulfillment with the millionaire card. So he was paid out a lot of money getting a wish fulfillment that had nothing to do with a blessing, the opposite of a blessing. Okay, so what else can I show you about him? Well, we've got the Jack of Hearts with the 4 of Spades, which is the card of health. So that Jack of Hearts is another card. These 3 cards are the one-eyed cards, all flanking each other with the card of health underneath it, which, he was obviously involved with trying to destroy the health. Okay, so let's move on. Any questions before I change the screen? Okay, so just so you know, I just want you to know that the lesson position, because I taught this in the introductory class, the lesson position correlates and has an affinity to the Saturn position. So if you want to know more about the Saturn position, okay, incompetent position, doing things with health and abusing his power as a doctor, and trying to make money. Okay, King of Diamonds, let's get more information. We go over to the cosmic lesson, and the Queen of Clubs is there giving us more information, and we think, well, what does that have to do with his evil scheme? And if you would like me to show you what it has to do with it, I will be happy to show you that. Do you want me to?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. Then let's take the time to do that. Just let me escape out of here.
Karen, where would you find that on the new software that comes from Robert Camp, the Cosmic Lesson?
I think you would have to purchase the other one, the more expensive one.
Well, I was going to ask you, because I have his software and it doesn't look like this. And when he does his classes, he uses this. So is this an old version or a new version?
Old.
Because the old seems better.
Yes, I know.
And I mean, yeah, the old just looks better. But I've been confused about, can I get this version, or is he phasing out this version?
No, I think you can get this version. I think it's like about $1,000 or something to get both the love cards and the this is the destiny card. So the two software, the two of them come together.
Okay.
Or you could just buy one and not have the love cards. So and that would be, I think, like $500. You'd have to look at his website.
Okay.
This is like 10 years, 15 years old. Okay, let's get to where I was going to show you. This was so much fun to discover. Okay. So,
I love excited about this. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
isn't it? I was just coronavirus. Wait a minute, corona. Okay, so coronavirus. Do you see that Queen of Clubs?
Oh, interesting.
The letter of value, the actual name coronavirus, it comes to the Queen of Clubs, and that is exactly what Fauci did with that Saturn cycle. Now I'm going to show you the, it often has another frequency that is associated with it, and it's a lowercase c, because, you know, if you're reading in the news or reading, you don't always see it capitalized. So it owns its own frequency, and that's the Queen of, whoops, Queen of Spade. So it has a double frequency, Queen of Spade, Queen of Clubs. Okay, so now you understand how I got that and how I see the lesson is involved. Lesson and Saturn tell the story. Okay, how do I get back to my, oh yeah, I have to do it like this. Okay. All right, so that to me was a lot of fun to discover. Now we are going to look at the USA chart, and we're going to move this thing up. Hold on. Well, I can leave it there, I guess. Okay, so here is the USA chart, but why I chose to take the decadent of the USA chart, which is the 5 of Hearts, is because I was fascinated by Fauci's ruling card and decadent card, and I was on to, so this is another part of the lesson here is when to use a ruling, when to use a layer. So I chose the decadent basically because I see the connection at the decadent level to Fauci's decadent 9 of Spade. Do you see what I'm saying? You're following me? There's a connection. So in his ruling as well. So I could have looked at the ruling chart of the United States, which I did, and I could pull that and show you as well. There's so many things I could show you. I could spend all night doing this. Sometimes I get carried away and I have to stop myself from doing all this research because it's so time consuming, but I pulled all the layers, and amazing stuff has been revealed to me. I trust this more than I trust the news. Okay, so here we have the United States in 2020 to 21, and the United States chart is, you know, as we know, July 4th. So this is July, and we go right to Saturn because Saturn governs our physiology. So the physiology of the United States. So what's going on with the health, the bodies of the people of the United States, we can see it all right here through Saturn, and there is an incompetent physician looming. And I saw this somewhere in January or December, and I'm like, who's the looming physician? I didn't even hear of Fauci. I didn't know about Fauci. I've been waiting for him to surface and figure out. I did a lot of birthdays. I thought it might be Trump. It's not Trump. So it's him. It's Fauci. So here is Fauci right here, 9 of Spades, double decadent, ruling and decadent card. Now, interesting enough, Fauci and Trump are karma cards to each other. So Trump is a 3 of diamonds and an ace of spade. And Fauci has an ace of spades karma card. So I went and I read through Fauci's karma card because he's obviously creating a lot of karma in this lifetime. I don't know how he's going to pay that back, but he'll have to figure it out. So we're reading, it's appropriate to read it Fauci's decadent layer as well as his ace of spades karma layer to get information about his relationship to Trump. Because they're both the secret card of, you know, the card of the deck, ace of spade. So I was going to show that to you too, but I don't think I pulled that. We can always look at that later, right? I didn't pull that. Okay, so look at this. We're displacing coronavirus. So what is displacement? It's the location stands for the drain. What does not support us, what steals our energy, what is pulling our energy. So we're looking at this is the later part of the year, which is why I'm predicting with all the retrograde planets that are happening this summer and the nodes changing signs September 23rd. We're not nearly done. We're going to have a little reprieve in the summer, but then the relapse and all the recurrence and a lot of other astrological things are happening. Like right now we have a Kala Sarpa in the sky where all the planets are on one side of Rahu and Ketu, and that Kala Sarpa ends in June, which it's a big exodus. It's a window for people's souls to leave. It's a time in the sky when many deaths occur in the world. And then Kala Sarpa goes away. All the planets start to mingle again and stop being lopsided. And then we have that lopsided again, Kala Sarpa, Kala meaning black, Sarpa meaning serpent, and basically meaning Kundalini, serpent, the Kundalini life force at the base of the spine, which is taken. So it's a death window opening up December 15th again, and that goes until around February, March, I think, February, March, I can't remember. And that's another big, huge window, which is right here, January 29th is when that opens. And this is going to be, I don't know, could be another flu, another mutation of it. I'm really not sure exactly how it will express, but there is coronavirus being displaced through this entire 12-month cycle. Now we look at the finances of the United States, which is perplexing to me. So somehow the United States, there's a division. I don't understand it, how to read this anymore, because the division is, for me, the good guys and the bad guys. So we have this 10 of diamonds blessing, where the something shifts, right? And then we have the 10 of clubs, which is the karma card to the jack of spade. So there's like a little tinge of a jack of spade energy in the bank, which is, the bait and switch. And, but, ace is very synonymous tens are very synonymous to the ace. So you take the 0 away and we have a number 1. So there are going to be new beginnings in our banking system, a whole transformation. So I was watching, the following year, and then I went back into 1929, the Great Depression. I don't know if you watched my Facebook site, the Facebook page, but the Great Depression, the cards are identical to our United States chart. And I'll pull that as a case study later on. But the depression that we went through, we're going to hit another depression. And I don't know how long it will last, but I think about 2 years, because Saturn's in its cycle in Capricorn for 2.5 years, and it moved on January 23rd into Capricorn, which it's in its own sign, which we call Swa. So when it sits in its own sign, it's very powerful, and Saturn's own nature is isolation. Its own nature is to be all alone. And it moves every 2.5 years, and it hasn't gone into Capricorn for quite a while. And with all the other alignments, I'm not surprised that our whole society, whole world went into isolation when Saturn went into Capricorn, because Saturn got to play its biggest part, its biggest role, and step into its biggest expression without anyone bothering it. Like, it just wanted to be in its isolation phase, because that is who Saturn is. So with it being there for 2.5 years, maybe now it's going to be another 2 years. We've had 6 months of it, almost 6 months of it. So I think we're going to be in and out of isolation for the next 2 years, unfortunately. So what else? So new beginnings. Okay, so here's the United States with China. So 3 of hearts, China, and again, you notice that with Fauci, same alignment. Fauci had the Ace of Hearts with the China card. I thought that was very fascinating. So, and it was in Mars, both of them. So United States and Fauci in Mars. So I looked at Fauci's 7-year cycle. We're in the 1-year cycle for United States, but still the Ace of Hearts with the China. So something with China and maybe only part of the United States. Can't say that Trump is even involved with this. He may just be a puppet and doesn't really know what's going on, and he knows something is going on and can't figure it out. He doesn't even know Fauci is incompetent because he's a karma card, and he owes Fauci for something, and there's a connection there. So it's like a karmic life soul connection with Fauci. So he probably feels something, but there's probably this glue that he doesn't know how to fire him. So he just goes along blindly. That's the guess that I have on Trump. I don't think that Trump is intrinsically malefic, but that's just a gut feeling. I could be wrong. So now I'm looking at something else I was going to show you here. Oh yeah, so Neptune. So 6 of spades is part of the black hole and the blue hole, which I talk about, which are the portals in the system. So here they are circled, blue and black. And you know the 6 of spades shares both the blue and the black hole. And they represent, 6 represents karmic health. And Neptune represents overseas. Neptune is the god of the seas. So something overseas, the whole world basically, but it started overseas. Okay, and there was deception around health starting overseas, and that 6 of spades is fate and karma around health. Okay, what else can I share with you? So with this 8 of hearts at the end, this drama at the end of the birth year of the United States, which would express around May, June, around May or June of next year. And that's a lot of death. So there's still more death. And I was wondering, is this going to be more death as a result of pandemic, or are we going to war? I don't know, but there's a possibility that looks like there could be a war, because I see stuff going on in the Pluto result in the other layers of the United States. And the Pluto result in the United States is pure China. It's the 8 of diamonds, 3 of hearts takes the entire Pluto result position. So it makes me wonder how that's going to express, but you know, is it germ warfare? Is it true just old-fashioned war? I really don't know, but this doesn't look like it's over entirely like we hope it would be this summer. Okay, let's go on. So here's more about decadent ruling cards, jumping into, you know, the Leos, because Leos born in, you know, late July, August, have a unique situation where from July 23rd to the 31st, these people are triple decadence, triple their sun sign, their ruling, and their decadent are all going to be the same. So they'll be highly intense people.
Mm.
Yeah, they are going to be extreme. And you'll notice when you meet them, they're harder to read for me because I don't get a lot of places to look for answers. You just get one layer. But those layers are going to be really accurate for them. So they're more difficult to read. Okay, you know, in terms of a reader. Okay, so here we go for the cuspers. So yes, Katie, you're a cusper, and I know a couple other cuspers. Cuspers tend to be very psychic, by the way. So that's a gift. So Susie, would you read the decadent cuspers section?
Sure. Decadent cuspers. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to be going in and out. I see my connection said it's unstable. Anyway.
Oh, maybe we better not then. So yes, because you did go in and out before. Heidi,
Okay.
would you read decadent cusper? Oh, Christy's here. Oh, so Katie, could you read that?
Oh, sure. For those born on the cusp of a sign, it is critical to determine the decadent card using astrology software rather than the table in this manual. The dates given in the table are the average starting points of particular astrological signs, but there are many times when a sun sign will begin a day or more earlier or later than the date listed. If you are born on or close to the beginning of any astrological sign, you must first make a positive determination of what your sun sign actually is before you determine your planetary ruling card or a decadent ruling card. The fastest, most efficient way to do this is to run an astrology 12 house chart. For example, if you were born on July 21st, you may be a Cancer or a Leo. You are technically only one of these, even though you may share some of both qualities. You will need to run an astrological chart that uses your time and place of birth to determine which you are. Most software programs are configured to automatically do the proper math for this.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for reading that so beautifully. And don't be intimidated. Some of you don't have astrology software. You just hope your first few clients aren't cuspers. If they are, there are places to get free software. You can look online, I think.
Well, doesn't astrology.com give you a report that has the degrees on it?
I think so.
I
think
know I went
astrology.com
somewhere.
Yes, and I think even 7reflections.com has free astrology. I'm drawing a blank as to, Western astrology is what you'd want in this case. But there are places, and email me if you get stuck, because I know I've written them written their URLs down. I just don't remember. But I think astrology.com is a good one. Okay, so we should pull Katie's chart because she's a classic cusper. Let's do that right now. And I'll get all of we'll do all of you because we only have, we've got Christy, but we don't need to do Christy's because she knows hers. So let me get out of here. Wait a minute, maybe here. It's not cooperating. There we go. Okay, so let's pull the astrology, and I'll need your birth time of day, Katie.
Oh,
Are you in here already? Maybe you're already in here.
yeah, I think I might be. I was literally just looking at the chart.
What's your last name again, Katie?
Whittemore, WHITTEMORE.
Oh, I'm going to cancel out of here and just pull. Hold on. Open. Yeah, I do think you're in here, Katie.
Erin,
Yeah.
did you have to switch that over to tropical? I mean,
I'm going to, as soon as I open our chart. So,
you want to use tropical when you do this.
yes, I always do. Yes, thank you for that. So Christy's my astrologer cohort. We teach astrology together. So yeah, let me introduce everyone to Christy. That's our picture. Oh, that's you right there holding the sun. I love that picture of you.
Oh, I'll turn my video on.
Okay. Yeah, there's Christy. So happy to see you. Okay, let's switch this over. Now we've got Katie's chart, and I just go over to calculations and turn it off so that it becomes tropical. And now we have Katie's tropical astrology chart where Sun is at, she really is a cusper. It's not even at a full degree. So it's 32 degrees. So even if your birth time was a little off, we don't know if you were born exactly. No one knows exactly when they were born unless your doctor was an astrologer at the time of birth.
Right.
Right. So we're just guessing it was, right around there, but that's quite cuspy. And that would be in the first decadent. So yes, if you're decadent, let's close this out and look at your decadent, right? So just so you all can do this together, here's the decadent chart. Here is Katie's birthday, November 22nd, and Sagittarius, but Jupiter is her decadent ruler. So what we would do for Katie is go to her life spread and look for what's Jupiter to her. And the way to do that is either on your software, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and get her Jack of Hearts. See the card here. We count Jupiter. Let's see, we count. No. Now I'm all confused for a second here. Hold on. And we can't do that. We'll have to do the other way. So no, we could do that. So Jupiter would be this Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, King of Hearts. There it is. So you can count this way if you don't have your software. So Jupiter is the fourth one in. So if you see her Jack of Hearts here, and then you count 4 away, not inclusive. So 1, 2, 3, and then the King of Hearts is down here, I believe. Yeah, right? Did I do that right? No, I went the opposite way. I can't do it backwards. So she landed here, but her Jack of Hearts is here, and she counted 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is Jupiter, the 4th one away from her sun sign. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody on that? I think, no, did you get
Right.
that? So,
Right.
so you'd have to know the order of the planets. It goes Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So you see that we don't count the sun. So it's really Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. That's 4. So we found her Jack of Hearts, right, which is her sun sign, and we went 4 in that direction. So we know we have to count in the direction that's going from left, so right to left, right to left. So we go Jack.
Can you hold that a little closer to your camera?
Yeah.
It's really tough to see.
Can you see that?
No, I can't.
Okay, so I will actually show you the life spread.
What about the card behind you?
You mean my big chart behind me?
Yeah.
I could actually pull that. I hope you can tell me if you see it, if you can. I don't know if you can. Can you all see?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's her Jack of Hearts. And we're going to count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here she is, Sun sign, Mercury sign, Venus sign, Mars sign, Jupiter. So do you follow that? That's her Jupiter. That's her natal life Jupiter. So we know that she's born in the first decadent, and she is a double king of hearts because we just did it the old-fashioned way by counting. But if you pulled up Camp's program and you clicked on the life, it gives you option for yearly, weekly, 7 weeks, 7 years, all those clicks. Click on life, and in the life spread, you will see what your Jupiter card is. You can also see it in the book. So if you have his love cards book, you can open up to your life spread in his book. Go to the Jack of Hearts life spread. It'll assign a card to each planet. So you can look at it that way as well. So there's 3 ways to find this. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. I was going to try to pull it up in the old PowerPoint, but I'm glad you suggested that, Christy. Thank you. All right, so let's look at Susie's decadent. So do you need me to send this to you, Katie?
No, I have it.
You have it. Okay, let's look at.
Do you mean my chart or the decadent?
Your chart, your astrology chart.
Oh yeah, I would love to have that if you could.
Okay, well, let me open that up again. Hold on. I'll forget tonight if I don't open it now. Katie, I'll just take a screenshot. There. Okay, now.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, just remind me to attach that to an email.
Okay.
Okay, here is Susie. I don't think I have you in here, so we're going to enter you. And do you mind giving your birth details?
No, that's fine.
Okay, Susan Langle.
Yep.
Let's find your decadent. What is your birthday?
9/10/1950.
The time?
2:22 a.m.
And the location?
Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, so September 10th, 1950, Cleveland, Ohio. I always read it back just in case.
Correct.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do, can you tell me the first thing I should do so it goes in deeper?
You're going to look for the sun.
Yeah, you're on it. I knew it. Okay, so here we are with the sun at 17 degrees in Virgo. So sun at 17, 28 degrees in Virgo. Let's go back to your decadent, the decadent thing, and we have 17 degrees right here, the second decadent. So the second decadent will be, so you won't have a double. You won't be a double ruling or double decadent, I call it. So we go over to your, where did that go? What's your birthday again?
9/10, September 10th.
September 10th. So here's September 10th. Saturn is your decadent. So we would go to Ace of Diamonds. Oh, well, let's just do that again over here. Ace of Diamonds. You can see your Ace of Diamonds is right here.
Right.
So we're going to count. Did we say Saturn was yours?
Yes.
Saturn, yeah, Saturn. So Saturn's 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 of Hearts. And Susie, 9 of Hearts is the great counselor. So that's a gift. And remember we said decadent is career related.
Yes.
So you could easily be a counselor. Well, you already are a therapist, massage therapist, but I bet during your massage therapy, all of your life doing massage, you counseled and didn't even really know you were counseling, or it wasn't part of the deal, but it just happened, inadvertently, that people wanted to talk to you and you had wonderful things to say to them. And the 9 of Hearts, it is the natural counselor, but it's also that of selfless service. Those that want to give without charging, those that just, it's seva. So it's the card of seva. And you would have to be careful if you were going to be counseling, that make sure you charge, unless you have, an inheritance, you don't need to charge, but you might feel compelled to do it for free because that's what the 9 of Hearts does. So just a heads up on that.
Well, I need to tell you.
Say that again. Oh, you're breaking up. Say it again.
I'm not doing massage anymore,
Good.
but I do seem to be counseling a lot of people, and I don't charge.
Oh, see, here we go.
So there you are.
Yes, it's so accurate. Maybe you could, do a sliding scale, because I know the 9 of Hearts people feel really weird about charging. So find a way to do like a sliding scale, or I don't know, you'll figure it out. But now you know that that's what 9 of Hearts, that's their life lesson, is to not give the shirt off their backs, even though they're sort of wired to do it.
Good thank you for the reminder.
You're so welcome. I'll take a screenshot.
Thank you, honey.
What about just donations?
I love that idea. A donation would work too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That feels right to me.
Yeah, just say the donation. Yeah. Okay, so moving on, Heidi. Let's find your decadent, Heidi. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, just right through a chart. We could just go to the table, but I think it's important. I think you're in here too, Heidi. I think I've read for you. Heidi Weber. Do you mind me sharing this, Heidi? Do you prefer not to have your birth information? Hold on, you're not muted, or you are muted.
Whoop.
Oh.
Whoopsie. You can put it out there. Yeah.
You don't care? Okay.
I don't care.
Okay. Good. Heidi Weber.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Heidi, what's the first thing we look for to look for a decadent?
Sun.
Sun. It's in the 12th and it's at 10 degrees 58 seconds. And this is tropical astrology. I'll just take a picture of this too, and I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. So let's say, what was it? We just said, I forgot the degree. What was the degree?
1058.
1058. Okay, so we know that you're in the second decadent, right?
Okay, yep.
Okay, so let's look at the second decadent. You're January 1st, so here's January 1st. Venus. So let's get the King of Spades over here.
Okay, whoops. Yes, Venus. I took my screen up to, okay, now I'm back. Now I can see.
You're back.
Yes.
Can you see the King? Oh, where'd the King of Spades go? There it is. King of Spades.
Yep.
There she is. And she's a Venus girl, decadent. So this is the sun. And then we have Mercury. And then we have Venus. So Ace of Clubs.
Ace of Clubs.
Ace of Clubs is your decadent, which is fascinating for your career. And
Yes.
Career, and Ace of Clubs is all about technology and newness, enterprising, visionary. They love research. They love to learn. They're like information hogs. They just want to hog it all up. They want to learn everything. And
I'm such a hog.
and that's so you. You really do love learning everything, and you do. You have got your hands in so many pots, and I see you got a lot of talents and skills, and you just you're the perpetual student. So also you can be really good online if you wanted to apply yourself to that, because a technology card.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could read more about the Ace of Clubs if you wanted to learn about what career would best suit you.
I will.
We're having an echo for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh.
Maybe so maybe mute that. It stopped. I don't know why that happened and why it stopped. Okay, so we just did the three of you on you're welcome. Your three decadents, and Christy, we could do yours, but you might already did you find
I know
yours?
what mine is, but maybe you could tell me what it's good for. I'm the eight of spades. I'm a Neptune. I'm July 13th, so if you look on the chart, I'm a double moon, I guess.
Okay.
No,
So
I mean,
Neptune.
I'm Neptune.
Okay, so and that comes to the Eight of Spades. So the Eight of Spades is power at work, and it basically there isn't one specific career that Eight of Spades is good for. I wish I could narrow it down more, but I bet Camp has more information on it. I just don't have it on me. But I just know that it's power. It's a card of work power. So wherever you put your attention, whatever career it is, there's so much power to be had in it. So I'm sorry that I didn't give you more information, but if you have Camp's book,
Cool.
yeah, just pull up the Eight of Spades book. I mean, the Love Cards book, and look at the Eight of Spades, and he usually has a section just for career. And
Okay.
you'll learn about what the Eight of Spades is really, really good at. I don't have it off the top of my head, but all I know is whenever I meet someone who's an Eight of Spades, in any form, any layer, they're powerhouses in their career, whatever they choose. Yeah, and they just can't be conquered. They are invincible. Okay, so let's move on. Do you have any questions before we do? Anything about, decadent questions that you might want to ask about?
So do you only use the decadent to tell about somebody's career, or are there other ways?
There are other ways. There are, so basically it's just another layer of your personality. And I see it as personality that is more career oriented, like how you express your personality in your career, in your workplace, who you put yourself as, present yourself. Yeah. So it depends on
How others see you, or
yeah,
you?
as a career person, as well as if you're not such a career person and you're more of a being a housewife is a career, but that if you had a career, you put it to the back burner and just started immersing yourself with the children, then maybe your decadent ruler wouldn't be holding as much weight. But I'm just saying that hypothetically, because what if I have one friend and that's all she did was she raised her children, and I wouldn't be surprised, I never did her decadent, but I wouldn't be surprised if her decadent had something to do with the Queen of Hearts being a mother. I'd have to look at that. Yeah.
And does the card itself have any layer or any hue to the actual card? Like, for example, in my case, it's an Eight of Spades, but does Neptune also, the energy of Neptune kind of wash over that, or it just tells you what the card is?
Oh, fascinating way to look at it. I never thought about that, but I would be inclined to say there's some flavor of Neptune in your career. Yeah, which
That's
can,
definitely true.
yeah, because that can cause a little smoke and mirrors, cloudy but also romanticizes your career. And, astrology is very Neptunian.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's really good questions. And I'm a teacher, so Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter is a teacher. And that's my decadent, the planet. So good question. I never thought about that. Yeah. So what else can we talk about regarding decadence before I go to the next, or actually it's time to do case studies and look at your own cards and explore. I did want to talk about karma cards. Here was my next section, but we're going to do that next Thursday instead. And then I was going to teach you how to do the sun transit method, the second and third expressions of your chart. So for example, Venus will express 2 other times in a year. So it may express at the exact time that it shows, as well as when the sun transits the signs that are owned by Venus, like Taurus and Libra, and they'll reignite the card that is there. So that we can go into detail, but that's an overview for what's coming for next week. And then we'll talk a little bit more about quadrations. And then I thought we would do some case studies on, here's the USA chart, here's the coronavirus, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Spades in 2020 in the decadent ruling. So I did decadent ruling earlier, but I did it after the birthday of the United States. So it's after toward the summer and fall. And this is from last summer to this July. And here is the in Uranus, Queen of Spades, Queen of Clubs, and Uranus governs the unexpected. So we didn't expect this at all. So, and then, I could stay on this for a while. This is the 8 of Diamonds, which is the card of China, and it's in Saturn. And here is the card of the blue hole, which is poisons and toxins, and it's not healthy. It's a dysfunctional card, and it's in Saturn, so it governs physiology. And this is all about China, obviously, because China is the 8 of Diamonds. And here's the lesson, which is always connected to Saturn. It has affinity for Saturn, and you get more information when you look at the lesson position. And this is the ruling card of China: 3 of Hearts, 8 of Diamonds, and illness, 2 of Spades. And you can see the 2 of Spades in the blue hole, card of illness. And it's not always illness, but it means someone needs to take care of you, basically, because it's 2 people regarding Saturn, which is spade. And so there's 2, when you're sick, you usually need a doctor. So that's why it's in the blue hole. So we can talk about that, or I'm going to leave it to you guys. I can pull up your own charts and we can explore with personal questions. What would you like to do? Anybody have anything you want to do? Questions specifically? Oh,
I have a question.
yeah.
Just regarding the blue and black holes.
Yeah.
Are you going to go into that in more detail in another class, or can you
That
give
was-
me a quick description?
That was in the introductory class, and it's in the PDF, and it's a whole course that is home study. If you want that, I can give that to you half price. But if you want to just listen to the videos, it's all in the videos for free. I gave that to you for free. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, those 2 portals are extremely important to know. You really can't do a proper reading without understanding.
And where are those
portals.
recordings? On your website?
No, I sent an email, and you were in that bulk email.
Oh, okay.
I sent it to all the introductory graduates, and I just included you in it.
Okay, I'll find it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone have a personal question? I'm willing to do like a case study on your own chart if you want. Anybody? Christy, you want to look at yours? Susie? Or do you want to look at yours, Christy?
Sure.
Okay, or we can do the United States, and we can do China. We can get into politics. I'm wide open.
Oh, Well, I mean, if you want to do a case study, what about my son who got booted out of school? That whole school debacle.
Yeah, we can look at him. Okay. Let's pull up Zan.
That one was, I think we looked at the vibration of the school.
I will look at the vibration of the title of the school in order to really get this straight.
Yeah, it was interesting. Which is, you know, it's kind of a cool thing if people are wondering, like, will my daughter go to this college or that college? Will she
Oh,
get
yeah.
in?
It's so accurate to just, if you can get the letter value, you can know what's going on.
And how do you get the letter value? Are you putting it into a program?
Yes. Are you on my Facebook group? Because I sent it all to the Facebook group. I sent
Okay.
that URL.
Okay.
Are you part of the Facebook group?
I don't know. I don't think I am. I'll look.
Send me an
I think
email.
I think I requested it.
I have to look to see it. I usually will say yes. If I saw you, I would have said yes. So Cohen, just send me an email so we'll get you on there. And in that
Okay.
group is the URL to get the letter values.
Oh,
So
great.
here's-
Okay.
Yes. Here's Zan. Okay, so really to do a proper reading, you want to get everybody's chart, which is time consuming, but you know, you don't want to water this down because it's serious business. So I've got to pull Zan's mommy, Christy, Cohen. So, and we could, but this is at least one. We have one other chart for influence, and for some reason it just always gets stuck on the Ace of Spades, but just give me a second, I'll clear it. Christy, there she is, her two of diamonds. Okay, so, and her decadent, we'll pull her decadent in here, which is the Eight of Spade. Okay, now let's ask the question. Oh, we want to get Zan. Does Zan have a decadent? Do you know?
Oh, well, so in Western astrology, he would be a Taurus sun, but I'm not sure which decadent he's in.
5/15. So here we have May 15. He's right in the middle of Saturn. This is decadent. Okay, so you see how I found that?
Saturn card?
Saturn card in his life spread. So we go to his life spread, and here's Saturn, Queen of Hearts. Oh my goodness, he's a queen. Oh boy, she's got her hands full. Okay, a queen. She's got the Eight of Hearts kid with, you know, this card of drama, and then he's, you know, he's a guy and he's, you know, wearing queen clothing, and that can be very drama too. So
look at the period I'm going into. I'm going into a Queen of Hearts. I have the King of Spade, and then underneath I have the Queen of Hearts.
Ah, okay, interesting.
God help me.
That did you say God help me?
Yeah.
So probably maybe you're ending the homeschooling then, and he goes to school maybe because he's been in your house and in your hair the whole time, right?
Since January, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, into January.
Mm-hmm. That's possible. So tell me the schools that he.
Okay,
Tell me what's going on so I can get the titles.
The school that unexpectedly closed January 24th was called Soundview Preparatory.
Okay. So let's pull that. Soundview
Preparatory School. So the basic story, I'll just give everyone a background, is that he was enrolled, he was having trouble at school, so we finally decided to switch him into a private school. He gets into a private school in September, and then by January, out of the blue, like very shockingly, they announced they're closing their doors like the next day, that they ran out of money. So it was a real blow to us because he was thriving. He loved it. We were like, wow, this is the best decision we ever made. You know, we were worried. We had no idea what it would turn out to be like. So there was a week where there was a little back and forth. They were asking for more money, didn't know, he'd go to school, then not go to school. It's open, it's closed. And then finally they closed their doors, I think on the 30th of January. This is 2020. And then then he's out of school for a month while we're searching for another school. We finally get another school. And the school is, it's like, okay, great. And the name of that school, Karen, is the Harvey School.
Okay, well, I was just going to Google Soundview, but I'm glad you stopped for a second. I want to interrupt you and ask you, is the Soundview one word because the capitals matter?
It's one word, no cap on that V, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So let's just get that first. Soundview Preparatory School. Did I spell that right?
I can't really see it, but
Soundview Preparatory School. I
yeah,
think I did.
it definitely was a King of Spades because I remember you going, that was destined to close.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So there's the King of Spades that you're about to walk into with the Queen of Hearts. So that was the school. Okay.
And then the
Sounds
second
good.
school was the Harvey School, which I think is a 2 of something.
Okay. So is it the Harvey School or just Harvey
Yeah,
School?
The Harvey School. So it's Harvey.
2 of
Yeah,
Hearts.
2 of Hearts. So he finally gets into Harvey and they said, we'll let him in, but the kids are going on spring break in 4 days. So it doesn't really make sense, or 4 or 5, next week or something. And they're finishing their exams. And so it makes more sense to start him after spring break, which brings us to into the first week in March, or the first week of March. Oh, no, into the first week of March. He starts at the Harvey School. He has 4 days on, and then Corona hits, and they close.
Wow.
So it was just,
You can see right here how that school closed, everybody. The King of Spades went to Pluto, which is a death position. It goes upside down. And the 9 result tells you that that school it was written to actually be closed. So we knew, we just could just see that school, we couldn't have predicted that it would close like that. That was a crazy closure. But this just
Yeah.
tells you right here, bam. And change of location right here. We have the card yoga of the 4 of Spades, 5 of Hearts, which is disappointment, but it's also changing locations. When you see the 4 of Spades with the 5, any 5, that means there's a change of location. And he had to obviously leave that school and go home with his mommy and his daddy. And here is his daddy, 8 of Diamonds. It went to the black hole. So I'm sure that there was some issues with maybe daddy was not always there because he's a busy boy. So,
can you just make the window big? Because it's hard to see. It's too small.
I can't.
Like I can see your whole desktop.
That's the only,
Okay.
that's the trick is I don't know how to make these things bigger. I can't, unless I had them, there's no other way to do it. If it's
Okay.
a PowerPoint, but it's not, I don't have it anyway. Maybe I could get a geek in here and to help me figure that out, but
I have no idea. The other thing I forgot to mention was, so at the time, Karen was like, oh, you were looking at the Harvey School and you're like, I don't really see the Harvey School in those cards. Although there it is in the Jupiter under that ace.
yes, but when you get a karma, so the karma card isn't a good thing. So the 2 of Hearts is the Harvey School. When the karma, and it shows up in its karma clothing, it can mean that it's gonna fall through, or it's gonna show up in a twisted sort of way. It's not gonna be authentic. Here we have the school with the 2 of Spades, which is card of dysfunction. Obviously there was a big dysfunction going on at that school. All this parents and hoopla and back and forth and a lot of scandals going on in Venus right here during the time that this, well, it wasn't exactly at that time, but
Yeah. What were the dates? What period was he in January 2020?
right here, he was in his mommy's cycle. Mommy is the 4 of Clubs and the 7 of Spades, meaning challenges, meaning he had to go home and homeschool with mommy.
Yeah.
Sorry, but there's the end right here, the death card.
Yeah. So I remember at the time you were like, I don't really see him going to this other school, the Harvey School. And you said, I see him back at his old school. And at the time I was like, there's no way he's going back. Because I would have just homeschooled him because he was having a tough time socially. But you saw that other school, Pierre Van Cortlandt, his middle school, the local middle school here, in the cards, and you were like, I have a feeling he's either, you know, he'll stay at home, but also I see him going back to his old school and maybe going to Harvey in the fall. And I remember like thinking, no way. But then Corona hit, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So what we did was we postponed his enrollment to Harvey School, and now he's re-enrolled in the local school district school. And
What's the
learning
name of
at
that
home.
school?
So the name of that school is Pierre Van Cortlandt.
Let's get the frequency on that.
Yeah,
Pierre,
that showed up. Pierre, and then
Pierre,
capital Van, VAN, and then capital Court, CORTLANDT, Cortland. With a, you have a T on the end?
Cortland, not with a D.
DT. That's
Oh,
like old school.
Cortland. CORTLANDT.
ANDT.
Okay, and is the school, so it's obviously Pierre Van Cortlandt School, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check.
Maybe check the Google. How is it expressing on Google?
Everybody calls it PVC in capitals. P, capital P, period V, period C.
Okay, I'm going to check that too because acronyms do hold value. They do hold a frequency.
Yeah, we all refer to it as PVC.
So that's,
Oh, you know what, Karen? It's called Pierre Van Cortlandt Middle School.
Pierre Van Cortlandt.
Middle School, or PVC.
Oh, it doesn't let me do this because it's just it only
You
measures.
can actually put it in the middle name or the last. Just split it up.
Mhm. 9 of spades. So
What about PVC?
yes, let me write them all down. We got Pierre, the shorter version, which I don't think is going to hold any weight. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to just do Pierre full blown as the 9 of spades, and then
PVC.
PVC
All caps. Yeah.
is 2 of clubs. Let's find the 2 of
I think it
clubs.
was the 2 of clubs that we saw.
PVC. Okay. So let's put this down and look for those 2 frequencies in the upcoming, well, I'm going to go back to
So
today.
it would have been like March, April, you know, he went back to school. Well, it could have been anywhere from February till now.
Okay. How come I'm not seeing it?
You have, is that the 4 of diamonds or the Queen of Hearts?
I'm in his queen, and I don't see 2 of clubs or 9 of spade. I mean, I see it here, 9 of spade, but
Why don't you try the 8 of Hearts, his ruling card, and the 4 of diamonds?
is he in that school right now?
Yeah.
How, I thought kids weren't supposed to go to school. I thought he was homeschooled.
Well, I mean, they're all learning e-learning at home, but it's through that school.
Okay, so he's enrolled, but e-learning. Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe it's because he doesn't really feel like he's in it because he feels like he's home. We always read at the feeling level. And if he feels like he's not at it, well, he is. Here's 9 of spades is Pluto. Yeah, so that is huge. The 9 of spades is in his Pluto. So he's uncertain about being in that school, 3 of hearts. I don't think he likes it so
Oh,
much.
he absolutely hates that school. He's okay online, but
Yeah. So that's why it took his Pluto position and didn't even go to a 52-day cycle. It went to Pluto, meaning he doesn't want to be there. It's a malefic placement. And then this is how he feels at the end, you know, of his birth year, which is coming up in, I don't know, like next week, his birthday. And he feels,
yeah.
yeah, 3 of hearts
a new
is just,
cycle.
what?
I guess he's entering a new year.
He is. He's about to enter a new year, and he doesn't really like. He feels ambiguous about the school.
Can we see if which school shows up for him in the fall?
Yes. So we have the choice between the Soundview is closed, right? Soundview is done.
Yeah, no, not Soundview. It would be the Two of Hearts or the Nine of.
Okay.
Was it
So
the Nine
the
of
Harvey
Spades?
School or the Pierre PVC? Let's look to see which one he's going to.
PVC was, what were the two cards? The Nine of Spades
Nine of Spades, Two of Clubs.
or the Two of Hearts was Harvey. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would begin hopefully if children do end up going back to school, that would be in September. I would look, but it's so hard to see.
It's okay. I'm looking.
Okay.
The Harvey School, I don't think he's going to be able to get to that school. Here's the Harvey School in its karma close with the death card. So if the death card was there, I call it the death card. It doesn't always mean death. It can mean new beginnings too, especially in Venus, it's benefic. But when it's with a karma card, like the Two of Hearts is the authentic card, but the karma close means it's probably not going to play out. It gives it more of a malefic flair. So the Harvey School doesn't look like it's. Is that where he wants to be?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use
I
your
mean,
chart in a
honestly,
minute.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
Nobody knows. We don't know if kids are going back. No one knows what's going on. So the Two of Clubs is the Pierre PVC, and we see Two of and Nine of Spades. So is there any other option for him?
Well, why do you look at the decadent card? Wouldn't you look at his birth card and the ruling card?
Oh, but you always include the decadent as well. Just because it's
okay.
career oriented, it still gives a lot of information. It's still really helpful.
I see a Nine of Spades up. Is that a Nine of Spades or a Nine of
It's a club. That's a
Oh.
club. I don't see that Harvey School. I mean, the PVC. Hold on. Whoops. Nine of Spades, Two of Clubs. I'm not seeing it. And there's no other options right now.
Is that a Two of Hearts under the Queen of Hearts up there in Pluto? Or
No. That's a Two of Diamonds.
oh my God, I'm gonna Pluto him next year.
Possibly. Yeah. There's Mama.
He's
Yeah.
gonna Pluto me, and I'm gonna Pluto him right back.
Right? You guys are perfect for each other. Perfect Mama for him. So he's changing again a school in 2021. There's the Four of Spade and the Nines. So he's going to have some changes going on wherever you might find a different school entirely. This is Uranus governing location.
Yeah.
And Four of Spade is the heart of real estate. So this tells me that whatever place he lands in between now and January is up for grabs, and it will change again.
Did you check out the Eight of Hearts?
Yeah, I looked at all of them.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, even this Ace of Clubs, if he goes there, which is the Harvey School, it's going to be something funky. And it could be that it closes or, relapse, or it can, because there's a King of Clubs there, which is the card of the professor of the proverbial university. And that can be in Jupiter. That could be, it's a benefic that he goes to it, but in a weird way, a twisted way.
Oh, maybe online.
Maybe, that could be the Harvey School online, because that is card of technology, and it happens to be the karma card of Harvey School. So he could go to Harvey School, but not in the way he wants. He wants to go there and, all kids want to be with their friends, but
He wants to be with his friends.
He may have to do this online again.
Oh,
I know. That is what that looks like. Yeah. When
I
we
mean,
look
I'm
at
not surprised, you know, because I do think that it'll come back around, you know, during flu season.
yeah, there'll be a
Um,
relapse.
We'll have a relapse.
Absolutely.
Yes, so here's the Harvey School for you as the result. So you see him going to the Harvey School, but you're at the feeling level of he's going to the Harvey School. He's not at that same feeling level. He's like, whoa, that's not school. That means I have to be home. And that's not, so he's seeing it in an opposite way of you because you're not the one really going to school or being, you know, getting, you know, kids are getting ripped off. They're not getting to be with their friends. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is your experience of it. So it would show up with the Two of Hearts. Yeah. And here's your
Oh.
property moving. You have a property in somewhere down south. This is bye-bye. In real estate, we have the end with the 5. 5 is the wind going
Now, when is that? What time period?
between now and your birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
so
that's
Harvey
a,
School,
that's a, oh, I haven't started the Neptune. That's right.
here's Harvey School Online. So you are seeing Harvey School Online a little bit. And looking for that 9 of Spade, that PD.
PVC.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
thank you.
he's not on Harvey Online right now. He's on PVC Online.
So he may end up at Harvey Online, but here you are displacing the 9 of Spades, which is that school, PVC. So somehow you also feel heavy around it. Does that ring true?
Yeah, because us parents are having to do most of the
You're
school.
doing most of the work, right?
Yeah,
So it's work.
That is
they're
absolutely,
not really like, what's that?
said that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yes,
That we're doing most of the work.
yes, Katie's got.
I mean,
her hands full.
we suddenly have a new career, so
Yes.
It's
it's
like,
a little
wow.
frustrating.
I have
Must be.
3 of them that I'm homeschooling.
Three.
One of
Oh,
them
Katie.
sitting, one of them's right here, who I told
How
not
old
to
are they?
interrupt me. He's 13 and my twins are 11.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's
Did
not
you-
easy.
Did you see that hilarious rant of the mother who was Spanish speaking, who went on and she had 4 kids and they were like ages 5 to like, I don't know, like 13 or something. And she just went off on it was hilarious.
I need to find that. I really am I'm starting to crack. Like
Yeah,
really.
find it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. It's
Oh my God. I
find
bet
it.
you guys are starting to crack. I could not.
it'll make you feel better.
That's so challenging.
They're
Yeah.
exhausting.
I bet it is. Well, let's
Ladies,
end this
I
on-
have a question.
Yeah.
When the kids are online for school, is it in a classroom situation like we're doing, or is it a one-on-one kind of deal?
Different
it's
schools
class.
are doing different things. The one thing I don't like about our school is that they're just sending the kids these, you know, brain pop videos to watch. They're not creating their own
Mhm.
instruction. They're not zooming with the kids. They're just going, watch this video and do this.
Is there
Yeah,
any
ours are
way?
good. They're doing sort of like a lecture. You know, there's 2
Instruction.
Zoom calls a day. And then they do you have Zoom calls? My 5th grade, oh, my son's telling me it's 4 Zoom calls a day for different subjects. And then they get homework.
But is
Mine
it,
has 0. They have 0 calls a day. My daughter's teacher does it, but they don't require, she does 1 Zoom call a day just to check in, but they don't require it. And my son, who's a 7th grader, nothing.
Nothing.
the reason I ask is because I belong to a group that we meet once a week, and I get to see everybody on the screen, and it's almost as good as being in person. Of course, we can't touch each other, but we get to see each other's faces.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there some way that somebody could hook up like multiple people in a Zoom conference and do the classes
They could do
together?
a Google Hangout, and they could, our district is against using Zoom. That was the thing, but they can do it through Google, but they choose not to. I mean, it's really up to the teacher. So
It'd be so much more fun. I mean,
I
at
know,
least
and I think they should be teaching these topics. You know, they should be talking to them about them. They could say, you know, talk about them, lecture a little, and then say watch a video. But They don't do any of that.
Right. That's a
I've been
shame.
doing a lot of padding, like finding documentaries about the topic and finding, things
Yeah.
like that, just to try to make it a little more interesting. But
Wow.
anyway,
It's a
Yeah,
lot of work. I am just
Mhm.
giving you mamas
Yeah,
some
yeah.
kudos and
Close.
10 points for getting through all this and still trying to bring home the bacon. It's not easy to work and be full-time mommy and teacher. I'm amazed. Now here's an interesting thing before we go, because it's 5 minutes before 9, but the 2 of clubs is showing up in your decadent ruler, which is your new career. You're, being a teacher for your child, and it is the PVC, right? So PVC is 2 of clubs with that. This is kind of a faded card, and then your son is under here. This is Zan, 8 of hearts. So
Oh, when is that showing up? What's the date?
that is in July 13th. So with a 6 there, means that it's stuck in, it can mean faded, almost like it, drid karma, like it's fixed. So maybe, so maybe,
I don't mean to laugh, but oh my.
I think we're in this in the fall too. It's going to come back in the fall.
So
yeah,
you think it's going to, so this Mercury cycle will be in a Mercury time period in September, right? Because it's Virgo. The sun will be going through Virgo.
the sun will be going through Virgo in September. Yeah,
Yeah. So my everyone's Mercury will be lit up then.
exactly. So this,
Yeah. Interesting.
PVC might stick around, but then maybe, mid-fall, you get to have the experience of the Harvey School.
Yeah.
Is that how you think it will unfold for you?
I don't know. I just feel like if it's online, I really don't want to pay private school prices for online, but I don't know.
wouldn't. I would not have to. I would not want to pay private school if you're doing most of the work, right?
Also, it depends on, I don't know if we can afford it, depending on what happens with my husband's business. You know what I mean? It's just, there's so many unknowns.
The economy. Yeah, there is, there's your school, Harvey School with the King of Diamonds, big fat money. So,
Wow.
yeah, you're going to be, seeing it as a money drain, and it's upside down. It's not, it's 2, it's ace. It's not a 2. So that you might be able to pull it off because it is there, but that would be, with a 9 of diamonds, a big loss, a big chunk of money that you could have used for something else, but you'll make the right decision. You'll know what to do. Yeah.
Huh.
There's your husband with the marriage card. This is your husband marriage card. And
In Mars.
in Mars, he's your man. So Mars is for men, and so her husband
Does
takes
that
them out.
mean we're going to be arguing a lot?
Possibly. I didn't want to say that, but it can be just great sex because Mars is
Oh,
passionate
yeah.
sex. Let's think of it as that. That's how it can express.
Let's
Doesn't
just
have to
say,
always
just
be
shut up,
arguing.
no talking.
Yeah, no. As soon as you feel like you have to have a fight, you just push him into the bedroom and turn the energy into Mars, so you don't have to fight. That's the only way to make something like that work.
That's funny.
Productive.
Yeah, I think that is very true of couples that have been together for a long time. Like when you notice that you start arguing a lot, it's like time to have sex.
Yes, there's something about that. And Mars, if you know astrology, you understand the planet of Mars. It goes both ways, the planet of love and war. How you use the energy is your free will. So, I used to have that Mars connection with Captain Mark, and I used to say, okay, we're going to have a fight right now. We may as well stop the arguing and let's just move the energy. And, men are usually up for that. So it worked, but didn't always resolve the issue. So, but we were able to resolve the issue later with more of a peaceful, it's more harmonious conversation, because the tension from Mars is so, you just want to rip each other's heads off because you're so mad, and that goes away because you took the energy, you changed the sails basically. Okay, look at your husband. One last thing. Here's your husband. He's in Mars twice, in your ruling and your birth. So we've got the 4 of hearts, and then he's got the little Jack of spade there. So he might do something that, is the bait and switch. He says he's going to do something and then he doesn't do it. And so that could be why he could upset you. in this fall. It's hard because you're all in the same house together. It's just so hard to keep the peace with everybody so close.
Yeah.
Send him off to work a lot.
I've been doing that.
Good girl. Yeah, you got to work with that energy. Just push, move it, like organize it so that everything is hunky-dory, hopefully. But it looks like you could sell that property because look at that 10 of diamonds with the 4 of spades. So if you do sell that property, you could use it towards Zan's school. The 4 of spades is the card of the real estate, and there's some big money in Jupiter. So that property could be what helps you get through for, with Zan. So that's good news.
That
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah. Well, it's 9
Thank you.
o'clock and I could just keep going. I love doing this. I want to do so many case studies and show you all these things I found in the United States charts and even in Fauci's chart, and the connection between Fauci and Trump, and Fauci being, the karma card to Trump, and I see their relationship. It's so clear. And just what's going on. It just, all of it to me is fascinating. Then, it's the truth. The cards don't lie. There's no agenda. So anyways, I don't want to keep you all, but I've enjoyed every single minute.
Yes.
Have sweet dreams, my friends.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Night, ladies. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Night, night. Thank you, Karen.
You're so welcome. I love you all.
Love ya, love ya.
Bye,
Thanks,
ladies.
Karen.
You're so welcome. Made my night. Happy Scorpion full moon.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Hope you all sleep good tonight.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.